All right, here's hoping that you can hear me out there in the wide world. Welcome in medias res to the Polar Bears game against the Ice Cats, where the Polar Bears currently lead already 2-0 off of goals by Emma Gross and Abigail Peterson. The team trickling in as we made it back from Middleton, Massachusetts, battling traffic and other ailments of travel. And by the way, we're not even 5 minutes into the game yet, and it's a 2-0 game in favor of the Polar Bears. Also, we're on the upper rink, just to be clear on that. All right, Wallfield, dodging, weaving, sends one back, backhanded. Not that time. Loud bunch and crunch. Make it across. Ice Cats move that forward. White knocking it away. Wallfield around one. Past two. Saved by the goaltender. Lots of bodies flying everywhere. A good read by the tender. Makes that stop. Demonsky intended for Gross. Knocked away. Rydell to Demonsky. Demonsky up and around. Cuts through the middle, around to the top of the circle. Passes back to Peterson. Little whiff. That's okay. We've got, 2 insurance goals. It's all right. It's all good. So there you go. Stop the clock at 9:33. It's my wife gently reminding me, breathe, Nick. It's okay. Pass back to Demonsky. Demonsky, loan to the right. Picked up by the Ice Cats. Peterson behind the net. Knocks it away. Bodden comes up at the better end of the board battle and sends it in. 3 for the Polar Bears. Maddie Bodden, I think maybe from Peterson, I'm not sure. Yep, okay. The research department nodding in approval. Now back to some regularly scheduled line setups. Peterson on the left wing, LaRoche in the center. Murray back on the right after serving time for a game misconduct. LaRoche shot, saved by the goalkeeper. And that'll be Elsa Shee out with Eve Callio on the blue line. We just got one team member down. Liv Penny, number 19, out with a knee injury. Hopeful that it's just a meniscus problem. Hopefully not a deeper symptom of something. But Penny is managing door duties on the bench. Callio looks. Kepler swipes it away smartly. Will come up the side. And so we'll have Wallfield, Pizarnik, Boyle, along with White and Maurice. So back to our normally scheduled programming. Wallfield. I can talk. It's not the adrenaline going. No. Wallfield again. Circle. Wanted to get it to Boyle. Tries again. right, Wallfield's nickname for the team is Peanut. I say we change it to Energizer Bunny because she keeps going and going and going. Wallfield through the circle. Intended to pass it back to Maurice. Maurice will get it back below the goal line. Ice Cats tried break out, and that should come back as an icing. And there's the hand, and look, it's an icing. 7:35 left in the first. Yes, far too many hours in the car. Look, it's Emma Gross's mom. Hi, Emma Gross's mom. Emma got the first goal. White, Wallfield, whack the puck. Over to Pizarnik. Boyle, shot, stick save. Comes back to Wallfield in the end. Boyle tries for a backhand shot, and that'll go in. Fourth goal for the Polar Bears of the period. That time off the stick of Kaylin Wallfield. I think Pizarnik got the assist. All right, we've got Gross, Rare, Bodden. That's flipped up, got to Rare on the backhand, poked away. Bodden will have it. Rare gets set up in front of the net. Bodden goes behind. Backhanded pass intended, I think, for Maddie Rare. Demonsky will send that back. Gross decides to go back around. Drop back pass for Charlotte Rydell. Rydell looking. Hands off to Demonsky. Demonsky cycling, backhand, sneaks it in. Goal 5. You get a goal, and you get a goal. Everybody gets a goal. Sorry, I shouldn't say that too loudly. Although if we're going for quotes from 80 stars, perhaps "have mercy" might be the better quote. Team's having a skull session. The resounding cheer of 1, 2, 3 Bears echoes through the hall. Although, ironically, there are 5 Bears on the ice. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Bears is perhaps not nearly as much fun. Off we go, right out forward. Rare. Picked up by Bodden. Back to Demonsky. Demonsky to Rare. Rare at the point. Ice Cats pick up on that for a second. Rare. Szymanski has it below the goal line. That'll escape. D-to-D pass in the neutral zone. Kepler knocking it aside, comes back to Rydell. Ice Cats have an opportunity. Pass intended to cross in front of Kepler did not go the way that the Ice Cats intended. 5:20. And there's a call. Offsides was a call. All right, there you go. Thank you, research department. Puck loose. That'll come back. Kallio. Intended for Murray. Murray now. Trading time for speed. Sends it forward. Finds LaRoche. LaRoche to the center. And gets it in. Peterson there pointing to LaRoche. So we'll take it. LaRoche winning the face-off. Peterson past one, past two. Knocked away. She. LaRoche knocks it away. Has it. Peterson almost there. Stopped at the blue line by She. Still a clean entry for the Polar Bears. Peterson playing defenseman for a second. Onside. Peterson will heel drag. Backhanded pass to the point. Finds She. It goes back to Peterson on the rim. Nope. I was wrong. LaRoche. Back to Murray. Murray. Back to She. LaRoche forward intended for Kallio. Scramble in front of the net. Murray. LaRoche. She will move it back. Murray bats it out of the air. That'll come back as an interference call. Looks like it's going to be on the Polar Bears. Maybe? Yes. Elsa She taking a trip to the sin bin. Whistle blows. There you go. Shot comes forward, finds Kepler's leg pads. White. All right, Polar Bears getting a shorthanded goal in the previous game. Well, they managed to repeat. Boyle, forward, kick, save, almost. 2:21 with 58 seconds to go. Round and round we go, finds Maurice, gets past Maurice. Pizarnik backhands it. No icing on that because of the shorthanded situation. come back. We'll find White. Wallfield, little fancy Dan. Wallfield below the goal line. Curls, looks for an outlet. Takes a shot. Maurice. Curls once, twice. Billiard pass. Penalties over. White finds Bodden. Bodden will take it back below the goal line. Curls, blanketed by 2, and now with a minute to go. Gross on the block. Maybe? I don't know, maybe it didn't get blocked. No, clearly it didn't. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Up to Gross. Shot. Save. Didn't clear. Demonsky stops that from happening. Wallfield. Over intended for Bodden. Rydell. Has Wallfield. Wallfield's. That's knocked away. 18 seconds, by the way, left in the first. Wallfield. Bodden gets tied up with somebody as the buzzer rings. So, after 1, score is 6-0 for the Polar Bears. Not that anything's changed, but it's still 6-0 in favor of the Polar Bears. Gross has the puck, backhand, intended for Bodden, perhaps. And that'll be She. Rare. Shot wide to the right. That's okay. Kallio sends someone to the ground. Rare. Shot. That time to the left. Third time's a charm. Diamond gets past Kallio. Bodden has it. Bodden finds Rare. Ooh. She. Ice Cat's not fooled by that one. Bodden will send that at billiard style. Gets to Gross. Gross will have chance. Backhanded pass. Peterson finds it. Ends up with LaRoche. LaRoche kicks it forward. LaRoche back to the point. Demonsky. Boyle out on defense. Peterson backhand. Save, maybe? Yep, save. Demonsky to Boyle to Demonsky. Over to Peterson. Peterson sends it back to Boyle. Boyle sends it forward, off the mask, and into the netting. So it'll be interesting to see who goes in for Dakota Boyle on the Wallfield line. LaRoche sent it off just to the right, I think perhaps hoping for a tip in. Boyle, shot low. Murray. Peterson knocks that away. And ends up with Murray. Murray's shot around the rim. Unfortunately, nothing but net. Or not net. Nothing but non-net. There we go. Pass makes it up to Peterson. Tries to get around one, ends up back with Murray. LaRoche finds the back. 7-0 Polar Bears, second of the game for LaRoche. So we'll have Wallfield, Pizarnik, and White. Okay. Brianna White lining up as a forward on the left. No, she's going back to defense. Charlotte Rydell. Charlotte Rydell Ford. Okay, I can get on board with this. I like it. Charlotte, try it. You like it. So I tried it. Hopefully the ending is different than the Alka-Seltzer commercial. Shot from Maurice. Oh, look at that. Yes, Pizarnik as a defenseman. Okay, all right, so there we go. All right. Maurice and Rydell as the wing pair, keeping Wallfield as the center, and Pizarnik getting a rotation to D. All right, cool. I like it. But you can't keep a good forward. Oh, she makes the pass. Okay. I thought she was going to take it in. Maurice to Wallfield. Wallfield gets it forward. Wallfield tries to the backhand, gets it. Wallfield, second goal of the game, 8-0 now for the Polar Bears. Rydell with a look, I think, of shock that actually happened. Kallio. Over to Rare. Rare tries for the shot. Ice Cats try to set up in the middle. She forward to Gross. Gross taps it into the wall, calms it down, moves to the center. Backhand sends it back to the point. Kallio will launch that. Looked like the intention was for Rare to tip it in. Bodden has the puck. Sends it back to Rare. Rare fighting off a few. Intended that to go back to She. She thought she was supposed to pinch. She forward to Bodden. Bodden had it for a moment. She tries to set up in front, knocks away somebody's stick, and Gross will get her second. That'll make it 9 for the Polar Bears. Question is, will that be reflected on the scoreboard? Mine it will. I don't know about the official one. Peterson manages to sneak through. Tries to find a backhand. Doesn't that time. Goalie pokes it away. Boyle takes the shot. Murray. Peterson. We'll send it back to the corner. LaRoche to Peterson, taken away in traffic. Buy some time, clean. Boyle. Forward for LaRoche. LaRoche looking for a hat trick. Sends it back to Demonsky. Demonsky. Found it forward. I think Peterson wanted the tip and it goes off to the left. Peterson gathers it. Shrugs off the hook. Murray sends that forward and the goalie covers it. All right. Okay, Charlotte Rydell this time is center. Brianna White on the left wing. Marcella Maurice on the right, and Wallfield and Pizarnik taking turns on defense. Everybody's having a little fun. Pizarnik. Wallfield. Maurice. Wallfield. Back to Rydell. Rydell to White. White sends it. Blocker save. Back check keeps that from turning into anything. Pizarnik will send it forward to Maurice. Maurice trying to continue to move it forward. Ends up with Brianna White. White across to Rydell. Rydell shot into the glove. Good stop. Good setup. Nice stop by the goalkeeper. 6:36. All right, Rare taking the face off Callio, and she is the wings. Rare and Gross as the defenseman. And if memory serves, I think Emma Gross did spend some time at defense in her younger years. She took a shot, save, Gross. Gross again. Sends it. Bodden had the shot. Looked like it just got stopped by the pads. Lots of scramble in front of the net. Ice Cats come up with it, 5:46. Bodden. Up to the right, back to She. Low behind the net. Callio on the wing. Rare keeps it in the zone for the Bears. Callio. LaRoche. I'll come back. Rare gets it over to Gross. To Rare. Move that into the back corner. The Roche is there. She. Dumonsky now out, along with Boyle. Murray. Dumonsky. Peterson now on the ice. Dumonsky dancing. Wanted to find LaRoche. Peterson looks like she's setting up for the Mishi. Boy, a little backhand between the feet. The Roche hands it back to Peterson. It's poked away. Murray has it. Sends it to LaRoche. LaRoche will move it forward. She gets tripped. No call, no kidding. Back to Boyle. Out comes Charlotte Rydell. Boyle shot. Save off the glass. Ends up with Peterson. Good save by the keeper. White. Forward to Boyle. Boyle to Rydell. Rydell looking for a pass. Finds it with Wallfield. Low save, trying to get the rebound over to Rydell. 2:25 left in the second period. Maurice to Rydell. Rydell wanted to find another pass over to Maurice. 2 minutes now in the second period. Pizarnik. Cross to Rydell. Tended forward for Wallfield. Back to Pizarnik. Pizarnik to White. White to Rydell. Rydell to Wallfield. Rydell will send it to White. White tried to send it back. Pizarnik having a little too much fun at defense. From Pizarnik to Bodden. Bodden forward to Rydell. Rydell sends it back to Bodden. Gross. Callio. Back to Gross. Up and over we go. Ice Cats have a chance at a breakaway. Taken away by Gross. Strong pressure from Matty Rare. And that'll bring a close to the second period. One more to go in this 9-0 game for the Polar Bears. All right. Everything's all sorts of mixed up. Now we got Peterson and LaRoche, D pair. Brianna White, center. I don't know if that's a smile of, wee, this is fun, or I have no idea. Either way, we're having a good time. White wins the face-off and loses the stick. Definite addition to the blooper reel. Peterson wins the back check. And back to center ice we go. Ends up with the center, White. Looks like they may be practicing their passing setups. LaRoche wanted to fire one from the point, ends up in the rafters. Think it may have cleared through a few of the metal beams. Wallfield. Murray. Maurice tried for the rebound. Back to LaRoche, the defenseman. To Peterson, the defenseman. Through the circle. Passing. Rydell. LaRoche to Wallfield. Maurice goes down. Rydell. Pass to the center. Maurice gets it. That'll make it 10 on the stat sheet, if not the in-rink scoreboard. Marcelo Maurice, centerman. Everybody's getting a turn everywhere. Everyone, everywhere, all in one game. Wallfield. To Rydell. That's Dakota Boyle. Got it to Marcelo Maurice. Dumansky. Wallfield will launch it, blocked. Wallfield again, blocked again. Back to Rydell. Rydell will send it back to Boyle. Boyle up to the slot. Wallfield, low, save. Dumansky. Get over to Rydell. Maurice and Bodden in the corner. Bodden, for the moment, comes up with it. Maurice. Gross. Gross curls. High slot. Shot. Not sure who it bounced off of, but it bounced off of somebody. Rydell. Bodden. For just the briefest of seconds. Gross in the back check. Comes up with the puck after the poke. 11 to go in the game. To Maurice. Bodden. To Rare. Rare now. Setting up behind the net. Kallio. Kallio to Shee. Shee to Gross. Rare wanted to pass it forward, bounce off the player, ends up with Shi, comes back across the blue line, and that will not come back as an icing. 9:52. Puck goes into Nowheresville. Up and over. Back to White. Rare. Rare winds up. Slapper. Just ends up on the left. White. In the middle. Backhanded pass to Gross. Gross to Rare to Shi. If Elsa had a sister and they were a D pair and they passed to each other, would that be from Shi to Shining Shi? I got one person laughing and my wife giving me a look of no, just no. Personally, I thought it was very clever. Yes. Back to LaRoche and Peterson, the D pair. Speaking of which, DDD pass. Peterson turns, looks, finds White. White from the top of the circle. Over to Murray. Murray. Intended for Pizarnik. Pizarnik's back at the wing. Glory be. White. Murray. Pizarnik dancing behind the goal line. Shot. Save. Back to LaRoche. Peterson looks for the pass, finds it to Pizarnik. Pizarnik sends it back to Peterson. Peterson wanted to go across the ice to White, picked off, and that'll end up and over in the bench. Now the clock runs after probably somebody said something. That may be it too, yeah. Thank you again, the research department. LaRoche, Peterson, Rydell, Rare. That's not Rare, that's Wallfield. And you think I could tell from the color of the helmet, but no. LaRoche, Peterson. Peterson will have it for a moment, sends it back to Rydell, to LaRoche. LaRoche through the circle. Over to Peterson. Rydell, LaRoche, Maurice. Maybe I should try out some new announcer voices. We could have Arnold Schwarzenegger calling the plays. Charlotte Rydell tries to send it forward. Hayden Warfield to Peterson. Peterson to Rydell. Rydell shoots, scores! Top shelf for Charlotte Rydell. She told it to get to the chopper. Yes, Robin, I have been in the car too long. Shi, Demansky, Boyle, Gallio. Ice Cats. Try for the setup, doesn't happen that time. She. Demonsky. Shot, save, Blyer, close, high water mark for the Ice Cats. She gets taken down. They're on defense. Earns it back in the corner. 4 minutes to go. And this now 11-0 game. Boyle. She long has a chance at it. 1, 2, 3. Save! She gets the rebound. Intended for Kallio. That shot will go off to the left. Ends up with White. White wanted to find She. Boyle. Rydell. Back toward Boyle. Boyle. Behind the net. Demonsky. Forward to She. She's got a little bit of a challenge this time. She sent it back to Pizarnik, over to Rare. Brianna White had that forward for a second. That'll come back to Alexis Pizarnik. Alexa Pizarnik. Back to White. White. Shot. Off to the left. Gross. Through the logo. 2 minutes now left in the game. Gross to Murray. Murray looking for Pizarnik. Pizarnik backhand intended for White. White saved by the goalkeeper. 142. Murray to Gross. Murray. White lines up, sends that up high. That one does actually get caught in the rafters. One minute to go. Rare to Gross. Rare. Sends it low and away. .40 seconds. Wallfield. Rydell. Rare. Gross. Wallfield. Rydell. Rare. Gross. Maurice. Wallfield. Rydell. Hands it back to Wallfield. Maurice, 9 seconds left. Gross. 1 second. And there it is. There's the buzzer. So, Polar Bears over the Ice Cats, 11-0. We'll see you back next weekend. Big game early Sunday morning. Well, somewhat early Sunday morning. As the Polar Bears, ranked at number 10 on my hockey rankings, take on the Mid-Fairfield Stars, Tier 2 team, ranked number 8, I believe, in my hockey rankings. We'll see what the this weekend's results do in terms of those standings, but as it stands, the top 2 teams for 16U Tier 2 girls in the state of Connecticut. And then we're back up to Massachusetts for a game against the Bay State Breakers. So, exciting weekend next weekend. We'll see you back then. Take care.